Oh man, so Bitcoin is above 38,000. The futures in the stock market are looking green, and Fantom has just posted its third consecutive higher low. Does this now mean we are ready to reverse? What is going on in the markets? Have we now finally understood and digested the fact that we shouldn't really be too scared about these rate hikes, which the market overreacted about when Jerome Powell was speaking last week? Let's take a look at the charts and see what I'm seeing here, because here on Bitcoin, as you can see, we're sat at 38,000, a good strong 4-hourly candle right now, pushing us towards our important resistance level, which we need to turn into support, which is sitting at 38,405. That's this yellow line here. It's really important that we can get above that line. But what you can see even more importantly here on the 4-hourly chart is we have now just closed 2 or 3 4-hourly candles above our EMA ribbon. This is really important, guys, and could suggest that with a bit of luck and with a bit of momentum, can we finally flip our EMA ribbon positive and start accelerating towards a bigger move to the upside, pushing through 38, pushing through 40,000 and back up to some of the highs before we crashed down, right, which was sitting at about 43,500 around here before we fell to the downside. Now, it's going to be important to see how the markets respond. Remember, Bitcoin right now is tracking the macroeconomy, guys. So it's really important that we take time to look at what's going on in the macroeconomy, looking at foreign policy, looking at what's going on between Russia and Ukraine and oil prices, looking at what's going on with interest rates. As you can see right now, the futures, Dow futures are up 1.57, 2.3% on the S&P and 3% on NASDAQ, which is very interesting here over the weekend. So could this be, like I said, the sign that the markets have felt like this is now the bottom, this is the floor, things can't get much worse, and now we should start to turn to the upside? So naturally, you have to be very careful at timing these bottoms. Like I said in my last video yesterday, this could just be a bear flag to continue and throw us back down to the downside to liquidate a bunch of the eager longs. So please be very careful if you are a short-term trader. If you're a long-term investor, these are still great opportunities for you to dollar cost average. I mean, let's put this into perspective. Just zoom out and understand that Bitcoin is still sitting at 38,000. Whether this is the floor, whether we have to go back down to 30, this still is a great entry point for you to be DCAing, not financial advice, if you're here on crypto. And that reminds me, guys, if you are purchasing crypto and you're doing so without a VPN, guys, if you're playing around with crypto, if you're playing around with yield farming and staking and all these things, using different exchanges, using MetaMask, using wallets, and you don't have a VPN connected, you are taking a major risk with your crypto holdings. So guys, check out the link in the description. NordVPN have been kind enough to offer our subscribers, our community, a 2-year deal with 1 month for free at 70% off, guys. VPNs are cheap as chips anyway, guys, but you do have to consider getting these set up for the amount it's going to cost you for 2 years. I mean, $60, $50, whatever it is, you can't have, that peace of mind is going to set you right. So consider clicking that link below and getting yourself set up on NordVPN. It's personally what I use. Got it on my phone, got it on my devices, and always make sure that I'm connected through my VPN, particularly when I'm playing around with crypto and investments. So do check that out. Now, what does this mean for Fantom, right? Because obviously on Fantom, you'll remember that we've had this W pattern with neckline at 237, and we got violently thrown back to the downside when Jerome Powell was speaking. Now, you've seen that we've managed to build some support at 208, which is a known level here for Fantom, which we've been monitoring for a long time, and we now managed to bounce off of it, which is fantastic. We're currently sitting at 217, but one interesting phenomenon I do want to share with you is that the bounce here on Fantom hasn't quite been as explosive as we would have thought. And I can't help but to think this could be in part to do with the scandal going on with Frog Nation and Daniel Sesta. I think that's put a little bit of a tarnish on Fantom over the last couple of days, a little bit of fear in some of the total value locked, and maybe that's just what's holding us back. It's just a premonition. If you haven't watched my video explaining this scandal with Frog Nation, click here. Very important video for you to watch and understand, particularly if you're involved in some of these more degen projects on the Fantom ecosystem and other ecosystems. Very important you watch that. But as you can see, the reason I say that is Bitcoin's up 1%, right? And look, 2.3% here on Fantom is absolutely fine. It's still moving at double the rate that Bitcoin is. But look at some of these others that are getting smashed. 7% up on Solana. Algorand is up 4%. Luna is up 5%. You've got Avalanche up almost 7%, okay? VET up 2.4%. Coty up 2.5 at the time of recording, and then etc. etc. Okay, so we're looking pretty interesting here. Dot up 2.6, Link up 2.6, which just goes to show maybe that has tarnished us a little bit because we knew that Fantom was raring to go, and I still think it is. It just needs to get over that news, let that news die down, and then we'll be ready to go. From a technical perspective, we've posted our higher low. Very important that we've done that. You can see here was our low. Here was our second low, higher low, another higher low here, which is fantastic. Now we need to post a high. We had one high here. We posted a higher high. We need to create a higher high. If we ignore the wicks, at least I'd say our higher high should be taking us to about the 242 level. So we want to see a strong movement here to the upside, taking us beyond 242. That in turn, because remember, any close on the 4-hourly candles here over 232 will give us a bullish bias on our EMA ribbon, okay? It would mean we flipped our EMA ribbon to the upside, like Bitcoin has managed to do very interestingly. So can Fantom now follow suit? Because our hunch was that when Bitcoin can get going, Fantom will get going. It was just super bad timing now that this whole scandal with Frog Nation and Daniel Sester has caused a little bit of a tarnish at a bad time, really, because Bitcoin is now, if you take it from if I just measure this move here from the bottoms to where we're at now, we've had a good solid 15% bounce off the bottom here. So anybody who had the conviction to be buying Bitcoin again here at 33 and didn't panic, they didn't sell anything first and foremost, you would have made up 15% here on any new Bitcoin you purchased at the bottom. For anybody who sold already, if you sold down here at the very bottom, you've sold 15% already. Even if your hunch is right, you've lost 15% there on your sale already, let alone the realized loss from you, whatever your cost basis was, right? Now, granted, we need to be careful. Can it be a bear flag? Can we get thrown back to 35? Potentially, but we need to monitor how this plays out over the next few days. Overall, right now, it's looking positive. The fact that we're above our 4-hour EMA normally sets us up for a powerful move to the upside, but more importantly, we need to close above 38,405 on Bitcoin over the next few 4-hourly candles for us to set up on a big move. Now, on Fantom, what are we seeing on the daily chart? Because on the daily chart, you can now see that we are trying to close the gap here on our EMA ribbon. So you can see here on this daily chart, these two green candles now are really trying to break us out of this red long-term resistance. Can you see this long red-term resistance? Let me switch back to the 4-hourly to make this a little bit clearer for you guys. The red line drawn here is a long-term resistance, right? Dating from up here. You can see that's resistance, resistance, resistance. This important 4-hourly candle now trying to break above that resistance would be a break of trend, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this clearly. There's your resistance, resistance, resistance. And now we're trying to break out here. Very important that we can get that breakout. Even if we break out and retest, that's fine. About the 208 level, and then we can bounce off and head to create higher highs, okay? But overall, it's a good break of trend here on Fantom, so things are looking set for a nice move to the upside, as long as Bitcoin can maintain its move to the upside. So there you go, guys. That is what I'm seeing here in the Fantom charts on a Saturday. Of course, on a weekend, you have to be super careful. Volumes are low, and often you can get misdirected. So if you're trading on a short-term time basis, be very careful. Don't come to false conclusions here based on thin volumes, because breakouts with weak volumes can also end up being fake outs by the time you get to Monday, and it throws you back into the downtrend that you're in, okay? So very careful that we monitor that. But overall, starting to see little signs now that Bitcoin's holding 38 and getting confident again. I mean, I can imagine if we get through 40, the confidence will start coming back in. People start putting their money back in. Remember, there's so much money waiting on the sidelines right now, waiting to pile in. People are just waiting for this bottom. They just want confirmation that the bottom's in. They're willing to lose the 5% on the bottom to wait for it to get to 40, 41, 42, and that the money's going to pile in with heavy leverage, and it's going to start pumping the price. And that's where FOMO kicks in. People with green candle disease, they're all going to be piling in to buy back into Bitcoin, ready for the next explosive move, okay? So that's what we're looking at for now. We have to manage our risk. We have to be prepared for lower price points. Make sure our conviction is in play. Still only hold coins in your portfolio which you have high conviction in, because we're not out of the mud yet, okay? We're in a tricky macroeconomic situation. We don't know what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and some of the geopolitical issues that can always throw any of our best technical analysis into the drain. So we have to be prepared on all fronts. As always, guys, if you appreciate this blend between technical and fundamental analysis, even here on a weekend, not leaving you guys on your own to figure these charts out on yourself, then smash up the likes and subscribe. Don't forget to check out NordVPN, link in the description, to make sure you're purchasing crypto in a safe way. Really important that we're safe when buying our crypto. You've got to have a VPN set up, guys, if you don't. As always, if you want to see more videos like this, analyzing fundamental and technical analysis, let me know in the comments below what you like about these videos and what I can do more of for the community here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.